welcome, my friends, to Orlando, Florida. That's another good, whoa. Choking on, well, I was gonna say I was choking on nuts. They just had a handful of mixed nuts. Just way too much here. Look at this, a little absurd. But let's talk about how an influencer makes money. And welcome, my friends, to Orlando, Florida. This is the digs. These are the digs for the week. I'm here for a real estate conference, and I'm also going to go over a few little things in this video that have been brought to my attention based on you wanting to know exactly what I do for a living and kind of how it works. So I'm going to show you around Orlando. I'm going to talk about what I'm doing here throughout this video. And I'm just gonna tell you straight up what I do. But first things first, I gotta get settled in. This place is pretty sweet. Also, this is my favorite part of this little place. Look at this. Oh, wow, it's gonna screw up because of the whatever. But like, look, it's basically a phone. Oh, I wanna go to all restaurants. This is pretty cool. I can find whatever the heck I want in the Airbnb. Ooh, yep, I'll take the sushi. Maybe I'll get sushi, maybe I won't. But either way, I gotta get situated, which means I'm gonna unpack and then I gotta go to the grocery store because I need to stay as close to my routine as possible, which is what I do every day anyways, right? But I'm gonna go to a grocery store where I can walk to very conveniently, stock up, and get this little trip on the road. All right, call me a weirdo, call me what you want, but I've been here for not even 17 minutes, and I'm completely unpacked. I'm one of those people that has to get like everything organized as soon as I get here. If you ever travel with me, ever, the first thing I do is unzip my suitcase and my backpack, get everything in line, and it just makes me feel ready to go. I don't know, staying on the routine. My sunglasses happen to make it to the top of my head because every time I would bend over, they would fall out of my freaking shirt. All right, one last little tour. I'll show you where everything goes and how everything is organized because I am very attention to detail. You got the workspace here, the phone here charging because I don't have any charge. And we got all my daily supplements. I brought my electrolytes and my BCAAs, pre-workout, some nitric oxide booster for pre-workout, greens, reds, greens, creatine. Then we've got our sugar bottles, tripod, because that's my best friend who films me every day. Now this is where I get a little weird. You don't know many people who go on a trip for 4 days and bring like 700 pairs of shoes. We've got running shoes, Vivo, Modus Strength, use code NICK10 on those. I wear them from every freaking workout. And then my running shoes, yeah, I just said that. We got these shoes that, I don't know what, I just walk in these. These are my airport shoes, I love them. They're nice and cozy. And we've got a couple pairs of nice shoes because we're at a real estate conference. Colored shirts, a little blazer in there, hung up the pants that I might wear. Also, might be weird. Gotta organize the underwear, the running underwear, the running socks, the regular socks, shirts, shorts. If that thing doesn't shut up. And we have the bathroom products because I gotta be all organized. Didn't forget the butt cream. Not really butt cream, it's really just for chafing. Use your imagination. Specifically for when I run in the hot stickiness of Florida. All right, that's enough yapping from your boy. I'm gonna go to the grocery store, get some groceries. I don't need to show you at all, but maybe show you some scenery. I don't know, I wanna go check out the fitness center too. That's also like the second thing on my priority list. And then come back here and get to the main point of this video as I continue on this nomad lifestyle. That thought just hit me because I'm in Orlando. God, my brain just likes to jump everywhere. Let's go get some freaking groceries. All right, I obviously made a little pit stop at the fitness center. Looks pretty incredible. 4-day stay. I have literally everything I need. Dumbbells, machines. Even if they didn't, I'd be able to make it work, right? That's kind of the fun part of traveling and fitness, is getting creative with workouts to feel good each and every day when you're traveling. But anyways, back to the trek of the grocery store. I just have way too much for 4 days for me and my business partner. There's just way too much here. Look at this, it's a little absurd. Got some pre-made salmon, apples, foil because I need it, oatmeal, coffee, protein shakes, nuts, veggies, lots of eggs, lots of meat, Greek yogurt. Just a lot of protein. Well, now I gotta figure out how to walk back with all of this. I'm sweating. All right, time to put these bad boys away and get to the main reason why I'm making this video. Just leading you on. And not that you care, but here's the final product of what we ended up getting. Avocados, olive oil, salt and pepper, foil. It's so stupid. I'm only gonna be here for 4 days. I get to have enough foil for the rest of the year. Nuts, peanut butter, and then obviously some coffee, protein shakes, blueberries, eggs, hot sauce, veggies, meat. And I am going to take my tripod and my camera and set it up for that couch over there. Have a little conversation with you all on this whole topic of, do you have a job? Honestly, and ironically, this might be a really good place to start. The fact that this is my job. And enter scene. So, I'm not gonna have any cuts through this little snippet. I might talk for 5 minutes, I might talk for 10. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. And again, I think that's another good, whoa. Excuse me. Choking on, well, I was gonna say I was choking on nuts. They just had a handful of mixed nuts. But another ironic place to start in the idea of saying I appreciate you for making it this far, because I have made it, quote unquote, this far because of you. And for those of you that don't know, and honestly, this little conversation I'm gonna have with you and I, really it's just the camera, it's weird for me because I don't love talking about it, but I think it's something that people should know. And a lot of people that do what I do, I guess, don't really talk about it and how it really works. And one day I'm actually gonna write a book on it because it's something that's super interesting to me. It was interesting to me before I got into the career that I'm into, and it's the idea that I am an influencer. And I don't like that word. I don't like the word influencer because it implies, it has a weird connotation to it. And my 80-year-old grandmother would be like, oh, like, right? Like, it doesn't have the best connotation. So that said, I like to say I'm a creative content creator, just a content creator. And another reason why I don't like the word influencer is because I firmly believe to the core of my being that any person in the world can be an influencer and is an influencer, because you never know what kind of influence somebody has on somebody else. You don't know what kind of impact you're going to leave on somebody. And just because somebody has thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of followers doesn't classify them as an influencer. It just means that they have a platform to give information, value, humor, whatever it may be that is their niche, to the world and to their platform, and use it the way they want to, right? And I think that's a good segue into what I do and what my job is. So where this all stemmed from, it stemmed from a comment that I got on Snapchat the other day that basically said, do you have a job? I woke up at like 5:30. That's normal time that I feel like somebody with a quote unquote job would. And to preface this, when I first started posting on social media, one of my friends basically said, hey, if you want this to be your job, you have to treat it like a job. And I was already into my routines, habits, craziness, and really I just jumped headfirst into it. I started writing things out. I started taking action on little things, and I've just really formulated this kind of, there's so much that comes with this whole influencing deal that I just had to get organized. And I think that's another place to talk about, is that I think it's different for every creator. And I maybe take it a little too serious at times because I care so much about providing some kind of value. If I'm not going to provide value in what I show you in the video, I'm going to provide some kind of value in the caption. And that's just truly what I'm passionate about. My job, and we'll get to that in a second, like how is it a job, right? My job, to me, is my mission in life in trying to help one person every single day. Yes, my podcast views are super low. Yes, my Reels videos can be super high. I don't really care between the numbers, because if I can provide value to one person, if one person of the couple hundred views that I get on podcasts versus a vlog take something away from that, then I am fulfilled, because who knows what that person may need in that specific moment. So I'm getting a little long-winded here, but and I just thought about it in my scatterbrain. The reason why I am here in Orlando is because I am taking the money that I am making in my job and my career, and we'll talk about that in a second, and putting myself in a position to act on a hobby, because I'm really interested in real estate. So I'm here for a real estate investing conference. It's the Bigger Pockets conference. It's a podcast I've been listening to forever, and I decided, hey, I want to go all in. I want to learn as much as I can. I want to invest in myself for this podcast at this conference. And so that's why I'm here. If you were wondering, that is why I'm in Orlando. I'm glad you could come along and get settled in here with me before I sat on this couch for however long. Who knows how long I'm going to ramble on. Hopefully just a couple more minutes. But let's talk about how an influencer makes money. Now, the influencer works with brands. Now, take a fitness influencer, for example. I have an app. People use my app. I try to provide as much value as I can. You download my workouts. Obviously, there's a price. 7 days free. Try it out. If you like it, great. If you want to continue, then it's $14 after that each month, $14.99. But I always say, you're not going to hurt my feelings if you don't find value in that for yourself, right? I want you to find value. On my app, there's actually access to 150 other trainers. And I want to preface this also by how I make money. I'm not trying to sell you on anything with this video itself. I just think it's very important that people understand like the clarity behind like influencing. And we can talk about it more if you have more questions. But it's something I'm super passionate about, and talking about the process. I feel a little weird about how like, hey, you make money to post on Instagram, YouTube, Snap, like all these different avenues, right? That weirds me out a little, because it's less about the money than it is about providing value, right? And all the external stuff comes. But that said, how we get paid. So we have, like for me, I have an app. I don't do one-on-one coaching anymore. A lot of people will do programs. They'll sell programs. That's their main source of income. People work with brands a lot, these influencers, and this is where the stigma comes from. Oh, you just get paid to post on Instagram, or you just get paid to post on TikTok. And yes, people get paid, but there's so much behind it that goes into that process. And quite transparently, especially for me as I've learned and navigated this world of talking with brands and whatnot, the most important thing for me in the shoes that is promoting something and working with brands and getting paid by brands is to make sure it aligns with my core beliefs. It is something that I would use at least once, right? I would not promote a hair loss ad because I'm not losing my hair, right? And that's nothing against people losing their hair, but if I'm going to promote something, I want that one person who may see it to maybe be able to go out and use that product for themselves. Obviously, it is just like somebody using a professional athlete being paid by Nike to wear their shoes, right? But a much smaller scale. So with that said, I try to integrate the most organic stuff in my life, right? I use these energy drinks. I'm not getting paid for this post, but this is a water bottle that I use. It's in all my content, right? And I have running shorts that I only wear. I have my strength shoes that I only wear. Those are the Vivos, and then there's the 10,000 shorts. Then there's lifestyle clothing. There's supplements, whatever it might be, and it's this continuous process, right? So, I post quote unquote ads, especially to short form content, but in my opinion, they're not really advertisements because it's genuinely something that I'm going to use in my daily life, right? I don't like to just take a picture flexing in front of my supplement stack because that feels like an advertisement to me. I like to show how I use it or provide how it is used or when to use it or maybe style this way, or I like these shorts, right? Because different features. I don't know. I'm getting very long-winded, but so that's another source of income for influencers, right? And then the other extension of that is you see these people, and myself included, promote codes. Use my code. Well, what some people don't know is, and to me that does feel advertisement-y, like I don't love saying that, but I guess without you knowing that when you use those codes, whoever your favorite creator is, it helps them out tremendously. Even by clicking on it and using the unique link that is on their story, that alone helps them so much because it gives, I don't know, it gives, we get tracked on these links and demographics and statistics and whatnot, and if you use it, a lot of times, like especially I think I make commission when you purchase something on my supplements. Well, what a lot of people don't know is a lot of these contracts that influencers sign are commission based only. So they might just be posting their heart and soul and not getting paid for it unless the customer buys something. Again, not to sell you, but if there is somebody out there and you say, hey, I've got my Next Performix supplements, which is the supplements I use, and I want to save 30, if you're going to buy that supplement, and this can go for anybody's Gymshark code or whatever, and you're at checkout, oh, Nick has a code, I'm going to use his code. Well, then that helps me out to make commission, right? And again, that's not to be salesy, but I think it's important to understand this process that really influencers go through. And some people, like, they're just trying to make it. So I don't know. I think it's important that you understand that it's out there because, quite honestly, I get uncomfortable to post a code or to post like just a picture of a product on my story, right? I want it to be creative. I want it to feel organic because it is, and sometimes it's hard to integrate something that's super, right? Like if I post a picture of my protein versus like, hey, I'm putting it in my Greek yogurt like I do every single freaking day, then you understand that I'm actually using it and it's not just posting for an ad, right? And I don't know. I don't know if I'm throwing a lot at you, but that is kind of the gist of how it works. And then obviously throughout this process, the sustainability of working with a brand your entire life, like I'm 27 years old. What happens when I'm 67 years old? Hopefully I'm retired, but what happens when I'm 37, 47, right? Well, the goal is to build that platform to then create something of your own. And for me, I've updated you the past couple episodes. I'm creating the Don't Forget to Smile merch. I'm creating an all-in-one supplement brand, wellness supplement that anybody can take for recovery, health, mental cognition. I can't wait to do more videos on that. And then my other hobby is real estate, and that's why I'm here in Orlando. And I think that's kind of the gist of like, hey, do you have a job? Well, yes, this is my job, and it's all self-motivated. It is all on my own schedule. That's why I'm up at 4:30 every day, is because I'm motivated to not only grow myself, but to have as much time in the day to create content, to put stuff out of value for the people that tune into my stuff every single day. Because legitimately, if I don't do that, and if people don't tune into my stuff, then there could be a finite end to what I do, right? It's all in the hands of these social media platforms and whatnot, but it's also in my hands, right? I get to come up with the creative outline of my day and what I want to put out, and thinking through all these different, right? Like, how funny am I feeling today, right? Or am I feeling super serious? Like, I go through these waves, right? And most of the time I'm feeling pretty freaking goofy, but I don't know. I have a mission, and I hold myself to very high standards, and that is, without talking for another 15 more minutes, I think that is the easiest way to explain if I have a job, right? I think that the initial question was, do you have a job? So theoretically, yes, I do have a job, and it's all on my own terms. There's a lot of things that I have to worry about that a lot of quote unquote normal jobs don't have to, right? Like, I have to figure out my own insurance. I have to figure out my own taxes. Like, there's so many little things. I'm not complaining, because I think that's a fun challenge to take on in the process of growing up, right? Like, becoming an adult, something I'll be able to teach kids one day, So I don't know. I think I'm going to cut it there, because I've been talking for a long time. But again, I want to write a book on the perspective of before you were an influencer, and I want to be an influencer. Like, I think the population, there's like 90% of the population in elementary school now, the number one profession they say where they want to be is an influencer. Like, that's crazy. So I want to tell it from that perspective. Then I want to tell it from like the outside looking in, like if you were the 80-year-old and you didn't know what an influencer was and just describing it. Then I want to talk about the process of becoming one, and kind of the evolution of money from followers, engagement rates, comments, like all these crazy things that go into it. And then I want to talk about how you can become one and actually act on it, and little tips and tricks that would help somebody in their social media quote unquote strategy or game. And really all it comes down to is being genuine and being yourself and trying to provide value. And again, I hope you were able to sit through this for however long, but I think I need to cut it, because YouTube's probably this is gonna be way too long, and it's really hard to hold attention for an entire YouTube video. These are the things I have to think about as a freaking influencer. And with that said, my friends, I appreciate you watching. I just looked at this clip. It was like 15 minutes long. I'm sorry for that. I hope you listened, watched for the entirety. Maybe you threw it on while you were watching, cooking dinner. I don't know. All right, I'm talking too much. I've said too many words in this video. But with that said, I appreciate you. As always, please, please, please don't forget to like this video. Comment what you think. Maybe you were dumbfounded. I don't know. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. There's a certain percentage of people who watch my videos every week but aren't subscribed. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you're the first one to see my videos on the tube of the U with me. I'll see you next time. Have an awesome freaking day, and don't forget to smile.